Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Prison to Promise podcast. Where we don't just talk about the struggles, you heard? We talk about the strategy, the scars, the survival, and the comeback. Today, I'm joined by the good brother, Nick Tsiamis, a man whose story carries rhythm, resilience, and real life testimony. We're talking recovery, reentry, mental health, education, lived experience, and what it means to trust the process when the process gets heavy. This conversation with Nick is rooted in truth. It's about turning pain into purpose, setbacks into substance, and lived experience into leadership. Nick reminds us that change is not always clean, quick, and easy, but with persistence, community, education, and hard work, transformation is possible, baby. So lean in, yo. This is more than just an interview. This is a story about recovery, redemption, and the power of staying focused when the struggle is real. Now, let's go. You're listening to Prison to Promise podcast with Dr. Craig Waleed. How you doing, good brother?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
It's good to see you.
Likewise.
So, yo, I'm glad
Okay.
that we're back here again, man, trying to do the Prison to Promise thing. So I appreciate you trusting me, and going back at it. And so for people that's
All
going to
right.
be listening in to us, man, if you would, how about just jumping right in and telling people your name and where you from?
My name is Nick Tsiamis. I'm from Mount San Antonio College. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and I'm a person who's been there, done that, and just trying to make it out here.
Right on. And so I know, Nick, from when I met you when I was out there in Los Angeles, and you and I shared some text messages and so on and so forth over the time that since the time we saw each other. I learned that you did time, you did a couple of bids, you did a couple of violations, et cetera, et cetera. So this last time, since getting out of prison, following all the other times that you found yourself incarcerated, what is different for you this time, and how long have you been out this time?
Okay. Um, After 8 terms, on my ninth term, this reentry was different. Is that maybe I getting into a recovery program made a difference in my life.
Mm,
That's what I believe that really happened. It gave me stability. It grounded me, kept me grounded, and kept me on track.
mhm, mhm,
Um, when I first got out and paroling from prison in 2019, it was I believe November 19th, 2019. But I
mhm.
had just got out right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah,
You gotta imagine. So I got
yeah,
out and pandemic just hit. So that was a like a shock.
mhm,
All parolees, I think we had to like report like online, like in a little in a little app, and we
mhm.
just had to like do that. It was just really bad out there. I mean, at the time, and I was doing bad. So the next 4 years, I was in and out of violations. And then finally in October 4th, 2023, I was arrested again. Unfortunately, but that all opened doors, and with the laws had changing in California, it made me possible to get a joint suspension after I discharged unsuccessfully with
Mhm.
violations. I was counting. I actually got another chance. Through the laws changing with Prop 47. Um, and get a joint suspension. So
Mhm.
I took that joint suspension and got released to a program. So I went to the program in my neighborhood,
The
and
old
that was like a
neighborhood.
setup. But I was
Yeah.
ready to bounce. Yeah, my intentions were ready to leave. And for some reason, those counselors right there were really good. I really applaud the Bimini Recovery Home in Los Angeles because uh, I stood there and I didn't stay there for just 90. I stood there for 127 days,
Oh, wow.
and till I transferred to a recovery bridge housing.
That's dope, man. And yo, man, you said, you did 9 terms, and so now you had some recovery housing and some structure introduced into your life. I'm thinking if the recovery and the structure wasn't introduced in your life, do you think you would have gone beyond 9 terms and might have done 10 or 11 or more terms? What do you think, the intervention did for you?
like I mentioned earlier, I think it kept me grounded. It kept me on point.
Mhm.
Without that, I don't think I would have made it. Like
Yeah.
these reentry places and stuff like that, recovery, uh, like it really makes a difference. With all these programs, you know what I mean? Like especially this is causing like I never really did a program. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I never gave it thought. Like I always took off from them. And this time around, like it was just a certain counselors with
Mhm.
lived experience that that
Okay.
that that seen me coming in, looking at everybody, and automatically seeing it in my eyes, in my face, read me, pulled
Mhm.
me to the side, brought me in the office, and had a little one-on-one with me, and told me there was a route at housing.
Okay.
If you want it, you know what I mean? Because I go, look, I ain't like these people right here. I don't have mental health, you know. And we all think we don't have mental health, but
Right.
and the way we do, but you may not take
Absolutely.
pills, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
look, there is a route, you know what I mean? These laws are changing, and if you stick to the path, I promise you, you'll be off the streets, man. And
Dope.
so I listened, stuck to myself, did me, and made it out of there.
Mm. And you said, yo, many of us don't think we have some sort of mental health challenge. And many of us do, especially if we've been to prison. And the more times we go back to prison, the more times likely that we do. But what made you say, okay, I'm going to take a chance with these cats? Was it because you think they had lived experience and you were able to identify with them? And if they had it, maybe you could get it, or was it something else?
You know, part of their lived experience, I could relate to the one counselor that put me to the side,
Yeah.
with him a lot. And he made me see things being in the program a different way.
Yeah.
He made it me look at things differently than I was normally thinking of walking into a place like that.
Hmm.
But you know, he showed me a route. There's a route. And I think I agree with what you're saying about everybody having mental health. Because after doing all those years doing time, and after living a certain way,
Hmm.
it takes a toll on our mind.
Yeah, man.
And to change what we were taught, it just takes a little time.
Yeah. And would it be safe to say then, Nick, that you wanted to change? You just didn't maybe trust some of the paths that they were showing you, and then somebody showed you a path that seemed like, "Hey, I could do this shit."
Exactly. I did want to change. I was
Mm.
tired of the bullshit because every time you come into the system, it's like the same bullshit.
Yeah,
And I could have went upstate, or I could have just ran and had
yeah,
another three chances at programs,
yeah,
and then just did my little time up there 3 years, because most was they're gonna give me the 3 years, so I wasn't tripping on that. It was just that I think I was just tired at this day and age. I'm 47,
yeah,
and like I said, my last term, it was just the integration of GP and SNY. So you know how that went. So
yeah.
I went through all that drama. You know what I mean? To go through
Mhm.
that shit again, because when you discharge in California now, you gotta start from the bottom again. It's not
Oh,
like your points are out there. So to do that shit all over again, I didn't want to really do that. And if there was a route, then
yeah,
hey, I'm gonna try my hardest to get it.
right on. And it sounds like you've gotten it, and you're on that route, and you're moving towards, staying out. You've been out for quite some time, and looks like you're staying out. You're doing some great stuff for yourself. There
Uh,
is a term that they use. It's called desistance. It sounds like resistance, but it's desistance. And it talks about when people get to a certain age in their life, they start to change their identity and start changing their direction in life. And it's really specific to criminal justice issues for guys like you and I in our late 40s and 50s. And they say when guys get around 40, late 30s, they start changing their mind, changing their identity, and moving away from criminal behavior. And so you're like right in the mix, right in that bending point, 47. Hey, I ain't trying to be 50 up in here. They calling me pops and all of that stuff, right? It's a young boy's game. But what are you doing nowadays, Nick? Like, how long you been out and what are you doing since you've been out?
well, I've been out. I went to the Bimini, I believe, November 8th. So November 8th, 2023 to now, I have not once got arrested, and I've been doing a lot. Right after I did my 127 days at the Bimini Recovery Home, what you know what I mean? I could have went back out to the streets, but I stayed and bridged out to a recovery housing. So they sent me to a place in San Dimas. I didn't really want to go there, but I went there, and as I went there, um, you know, I didn't know what to do. the catch was staying at 6 months, another 6 months of housing. What I had to do was, um, you know, I wanted to get a job. I didn't have $1 in my pocket. You know what I mean? Remember, I'm in hand-me-downs. You know, I ain't got
Yeah.
nothing. I got no family. You know, I got no blood relatives. I'm all alone. I'm like, I'm all alone. And
Yeah,
I
man.
got a son, but I haven't seen him in like 9 years or even heard or talked to him. So,
Mm.
so I'm out like this, like, damn, like, what can I do? And so what I did was, uh, that outpatient that I had to do, it was the catch. I had to do 180 days of outpatient too, but they wanted me to do outpatient until I was ready to go to work, and they'll let me know when I'm ready. And I wasn't liking that, but I had to deal with that. I
Mm.
had to accept that. And then when I accepted that, I had to I'm thinking something, and they're like, hey, look, if you want to go to school, you can go to school and they'll pay you too. We'll let you do that. And I'm like, is that right? So I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. So the nearest school was Mount San Antonio College, and I went to Mount Sac, and I found a program called Rising Scholars, and I applied, did all that DOR. Next thing you know, bam, I was in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then from there, school made me look at things a different way. School opened doors for me. It like showed me higher education. It showed me people like me, and how and that were just having powerful positions on campus and doing things, and like the little events that they take me to, like little field trips and stuff. I got to meet
Mhm.
other people, other schools, and see what they were doing, and that was just a turning point in my life because I actually met people that I actually known. Yeah, I mean, not a many, but a few that I actually known, and you wonder what happened to them?
Tell
Hey, they're
me.
doing good. They're doing good.
Yeah.
Hey, they're at the university level or whatever, and they
Mhm.
got a family. They just got their lives together, and that's what happened to them.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And
Uh,
desistance, that term desistance that I dropped on you, it hits us. And then when we hit around our 40s, it hits us again. And then when we start going to school and things like that, that's one of those things that helps us stay out of jails and prisons even more so. Those are what they call protective factors. Those things that protect us from getting locked up. And so, yeah, like you, I saw school as a way of breaking the cycle. I saw school as a way of staying out of prison. And one of the things that you notice, bro, is like when you in any prison, I'm willing to bet in any state here in the United States, um, if you look around and see how many people don't have a high school diploma, the numbers are probably astronomical. And then the people with GEDs, the numbers are probably just a little better. And people with high school diplomas, probably just a little bit better than GEDs. And then as you go up, associate's degree, bachelor's, master's, the higher up you go in the academic educational realm, the less people you see in prison with those types of credentials, you know? And so that goes to say that, pursuing those credentials are definitely an anti-venom to incarceration. You know what I mean?
Definitely, and I think they even have stats for that.
Yeah,
Like when we were at the PTU, didn't they mention that?
yeah,
And when I remember that at the one thing at the conference, when they said, "Hey, how many people in here have their masters?" I mean,
yeah.
everybody damn near raised,
So
and I was
many,
just looking
right?
around me like, "Damn, am I like the only one?" Like there was like
Yeah.
just maybe two handfuls that didn't have that, but at least everybody that there was packed place. Everybody damn near had a master's, and I
Yeah,
was like, man, and the statistics of 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 anybody formerly incarcerated coming back was like 1% at the
yeah,
time, or like
yeah,
getting that level. So I'm
yeah,
trying to get to your level, man, because I never want to go back.
yeah. It hurt too much, man. And
Yeah,
yo,
too
you
much.
recalling that incident, bro, right now, I'm almost in tears and my body is tingling because it was so exciting to see that moment. You know
Uh-huh,
what I mean? To see
uh-huh.
all my homies. I call anybody that's been locked up my homie. I don't care.
Right.
What set you rep. All my homies from the penitentiary in California and they with master's degrees. Some of them got doctorates, bachelor's. You see tears coming out my face right now, yo. Just recall.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sad. It's just so exciting to recall that time. We need more of that. We need more of that. Because one of the things I'm sure you know, and I know, and people that's listening to this conversation will know, and that is that inside the penitentiary, there's a shitload of brilliant people that just haven't had the right opportunities. Probably more brilliant
Man, I
than
see
the
those
people
tears.
in
I
jail.
see those tears right now, man. I feel you, man. I feel you
They real.
100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel you, and I'm
Yeah.
the same way. Like education, being in school changed my whole damn life.
Yeah.
changed my whole way of thinking,
Yeah.
changed everything. And look at the
Yeah.
things I'm doing. I would never have thought I would be doing the things that I'll be doing around
Yeah.
campus,
Yeah.
uh, you know, ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Give me an
man,
example of
like
something that you're doing around campus that you never thought you would do.
one of the things is doing a harm reduction event. You know what I mean?
Mm.
On campus. Join a recovery club on campus. Yet alone a recovery club on streets, but I mean on campus too, and then going back
Yeah.
to school. That
Yeah.
was you know, one of the things that I would never see myself doing. So, like even being in a population like Mount Sac, it's a big ass community college. They say it's the number one in the country. Now, and there's overpopulated. There's a lot of people in there, and it's just like I stand out. You know what I mean? Like everybody else does.
Mm.
You know, one of the things that kept me in school was community.
Mm.
Importance of community, because without community, I probably would have left. I probably would
Yeah.
have left. But with Rising Scholars, what Joe Lewis is doing,
Yeah.
Hernandez, he created something that damn, it kept me in school and it kept many others too in school, and it's like a family to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They introduced me to other programs. You know what I mean? That I've been looking at and got into, like Underground Scholars,
Yeah.
their ambassadors program. That
Mhm.
right there took me to another level and made me do things that now I'm advocating and doing stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
that right there is a shocker to everybody that knows me. And
Yeah.
as doors open up that were once closed, people are seeing this stuff, and more and more doors open up that were closed before. They're looking at me now. I was like, "Is this guy serious? Like he's doing it. He's doing it. And he's
Yeah.
doing it." You know?
Yeah. And you said something dope too, and that was community. Community,
Yeah.
at least the way I look at it, it comes from two words. One is common, the other one is unity. And when you have people with a common unity forming that community, they definitely are stronger together and they can go further. I think there's an old African adage that says if you want to go quickly, go alone. But if you want to go far, bring your community, bring your
Yeah.
companions, bring someone that you get along with, and you
Exactly.
much further. So that's wonderful, brother. And I hope that people that hear this conversation who think that there's no opportunity for them to recover because they've been in and out of prison most of their life and they too old and all that shit. I hope they hear your story and say, well, yo, if Nick could do it, I could do it, yo.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you like this: don't judge a book by its cover. But hey, I've been there and done that. Like we all have,
Yeah,
and I ain't no better than anybody. But I'm
that's
gonna tell
right.
you like this: education opened doors that I never would have imagined. And I
Yeah.
thought I was too old to go to school. I thought
Mm,
I was too old to go to school. Like now it's time to go to work. If anything, I went to school for the wrong major. I should have went to learn the trade. I was telling myself, like, what am
yeah.
I doing, like with these books and stuff? I didn't even know how to use a laptop. Like I was stuck. To the point
Yeah.
where like I just needed to be taught. And if I'm taught, I'm gonna learn.
That's right.
And that's what it basically comes down to. So if you ain't never was taught nothing, then hey, you got to try,
That's right.
get taught, and then use what you were taught to advance in life.
That's
And
right.
that's what it's all about. And
Yeah.
that's something that I never really looked at uh doing, and I finally did that. And you know um I may be a little slower than lot of people, but hey, you know
Mhm.
what? I'm making very much progress. I'm gonna graduate. That's all I know. End of this year, I'm graduating. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's a big plus for me. And I just can't wait.
Yeah, 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 and I'm excited for you, bro. The hell with if you slower than some or faster than some, you in it though. That's what's important.
Yeah.
It's like I ride bicycle, Nick, and sometimes I'm on my bicycle and I might be only going however fast I'm going, but somebody might come speeding past me. Zoom. I'm like, oh shit. And then I try to catch up with them, but then I have to stop myself and tell myself, that's not my ride. My ride is what I was doing before they passed. I might be a little slower than them, but I'm on the path. I'm on the roll. And that's what it's all about. All of us is getting on the path. The hell with who's ahead of us or who's behind us. Long as we on a different path, leading away from the penitentiary, addiction, and early death. You heard me?
Right. I
Yeah.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Totally agree. And
Well,
like I barely got my GD in 2019. It took me like 20 damn years to get it. Like in
yeah.
there, out, in and out, in and out. I always tried, always tried. And then after that, in '07, I think that's when they did the thing like, oh, you know what? Everybody who had a GD like before 2007 is not valid, not valid. So everybody had to retake it because they said everybody was cheating. So they had to do things now, like with laptops and everything, with the state administering it twice a year,
Mhm, mhm.
and then with your backs turned, everything, like it made it impossible. You know what I mean? Everybody have a different test, so like you really had to do it, and then not only that, but you have to beat the clock. The
Right.
clock's ticking, and
And what good is
yeah,
it
I
to
never.
get a GED if you're cheating?
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the time when you see older, I mean, you see people doing it, you know what I mean? You think that was a good thing, but luckily, like, it never happened to me. I never had the money to get it, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have somebody do it for you. I don't know, yeah, whatever lick was back in the days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just never went that route. I never really thought like I needed a GED or anything like that, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
today, I remember where I left off when I was a kid, and in ninth grade, I got kicked out in my second week. So
Yeah.
from there, I went to county schools and stuff like that, and then I didn't get in because I was wearing baggy pants. You know what I mean? Like they didn't want me to wear a leather belt. You know what I mean? They didn't want me to put up my socks. I was just young and not caring really,
Right.
about my education. It was a era of house parties, ditching parties,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's what I was doing. You know what I mean? Drugs played a big part of me not being in school. But
Mhm.
you live and learn. And today, if I had a chance to take it all back, I'll do it differently.
'Cause but you had made me think of something because you had said, "If I had to do it all over again," and that made me think, what would you tell a young Nicholas? If you could talk to that young guy right now that you just discussed as who you are now, what would you tell him?
Well, I do have a son. He's 17, little Nicholas, and I do tell him, and I tell him this ever since he was a kid. There's a reason why they make all kids go to school.
Mhm.
And do you know why they make all kids go to school? It's because you're gonna need it in the future. No, they not just putting you in school just to put you in school.
Yeah.
No, there's a reason why they put you in school. You need to learn because
Mhm.
if not, you're gonna struggle like me. And my
Mm.
dad used to tell me all the time, it's like this: either you want to use your brain and be in an air conditioning office or room, I mean, and ask your secretary to make you a cup of coffee or something, or answer your phone calls,
Yeah.
take a message, or you're gonna work like me, blisters on both my hands and feet, and I work from the sun up, sun down, just to make $200 a day.
Mm.
Because I wasn't born here, and I didn't know how to. I don't know how to read or write English. But you were born here. There's no excuse. You should do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something I always rang a bell in my head, and I shared that with my son.
Yeah.
And my son today is doing very well, and I'm proud of him.
Mm.
I'm proud of his mom. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't there a lot, but he's a good kid, and he understands how I went wrong, and he just knows what's right and wrong.
Nice, nice, man. Nice. Thanks for sharing that, man. And a lot of the wisdom that people drop on us when we were children, it don't tend to bear fruit until we grown, until we done been through some crap,
Yeah.
and then we look back and like, man, if I would have followed that advice, that would have saved me from this crap. That would have saved me from this pain. But the fact of the matter is that we got it, and we got it when we got it, and now we could pass it on. And I'm so glad that I met you, Nick, when I was out there in LA. I'm so glad to know that you're doing stuff that you're doing and being an ambassador for underground scholars and for other people who are coming behind you. They'll see you and be like, yo, homie did it. I could do it. You know, homie did it. I could do it. What's your hope for the future, bro? Like, when you grow up, what you wanna be when you grow up?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm a grown man, that's for sure. But
Yeah,
as far as my mind mentally and my
yeah,
my unlocking my full potential yet,
yeah,
I have not.
yeah,
So I have not even got close to unlock my full potential because I feel like I could do much more, way much more.
yeah,
But I'm making a lot of progress. Like right now, as an ambassador for the Bruno Underground Scholars program, or me and my partner are co-directing a documentary
yeah,
called "The Struggle Is Real." It's
yeah,
about reentry, addiction, mental health, just the struggles of one getting out and without nothing. And if you got nothing and nobody, you burn every bridge you had, and you're getting out with not a dollar in your pocket. What are you gonna do? Where are you gonna go? So I
right,
picked 12 people from different walks of life and different races and religions and stuff like that. And we have a good set going. We're about scheduled to film this week. And
nice,
it just, there's a lot more to say about it, but I'm going to tell you the struggle is real is coming soon. And it's going to be a unique one because we're actually taking data stats,
uh-huh,
6 different colleges participating, and
mhm,
between Rising Scholars, uh, Project Rebound, and uh, Rising Scholars, we're gonna collect data from each one of our students and just see, when you got out, like just we're gonna take just basic reentry questions, yes, no, true or false, for their do a data, you know what I mean, like collect little stats and see what it does, you know what I mean? Maybe it hopefully opens up doors to a bigger interview,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and what I see this leading to also for you is some research, because when you're
Yeah,
collecting
that's
data.
what it is. Researching. Yeah, well, I research a lot. It's just that sometimes when I get on the mic and stuff, I get nervous. But more
Yeah,
and more I'm looking at you and talking to you, or more and more I could open up and get better. So,
yeah,
like, I mean, the first one I was a little shy. This one I had no excuse, but
yeah,
kind of caught me off guard. But you know what I mean?
yeah,
But the more and more I talk to you, the more open up I get, and the more and more open up I get, just I just know this that I'm doing good things right now. Open a lot of doors for me right now, opening, and as this project I'm putting fully into it. Like this documentary is one we want to see. That's all I got to say.
yeah,
The questions that are going to be asked, and stuff like that are really really mind blowing, and it
mhm,
really shows policymakers and the state and sheriff's departments uh that has pre-release programs that look, you guys say what you guys say, teach what you guys teach, but once you hear from these actually inmate, dudes that got out
yeah,
and tell you how it is, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
when I got out, parole officers told me like this: "You think we got a bed for everybody that gets out?
mhm,
We don't got a bed for everybody that gets out." I was forced to do a program when I didn't even want to, but
yeah,
hey, I did it. You know
yeah,
what I mean? I
yeah,
did it, and but I'm gonna tell everybody like how it is. Like in there for the next man or woman getting out anywhere, we're gonna tell it like how it is, like our routes, how we made it, how we pushed through,
mhm,
and what to expect
yeah,
and stuff like that, you know what I mean, what really works and what doesn't, you know what I mean.
right on, bro.
And
And
so that way if anybody that's in the educational field of reentry can look at what we're doing and maybe use it, you know.
yeah, and that's what it's all for, to help other people, to use it as a tool,
Hmm.
as a guide, as a
Oh,
light.
for sure.
And I see you've been posting on LinkedIn some of the, stuff about the upcoming documentary. If people wanted to read about it or learn a little bit about it, is there somewhere they can go online?
Yes, we're actually developing our own Instagram. I'm mainly been promoting it a lot on Instagram. LinkedIn yet? I don't think I really have, but
Mhm.
I'm about to start it. But Instagram is where it's at. And right now you can go to ReRise at Mount Sac, the ReRise Club at Mount Sac,
Spell
and
that.
you guys can see a lot about more about it. Yeah,
Spell that for the
yeah.
listeners, Re-Rise.
We WERISE We Rise, yeah, at Mount Sac. ReRise Club. WERISECLUB uh underscore at Mount Sac.
Alright, and
Yeah,
that's on Instagram.
Instagram.
Dope, dope, dope. And how
Yeah.
about what if folks wanted to reach out to you, Nick? You know, maybe to talk more with you or whatever. If they just wanted to contact you, how can people contact you? How can they find
Okay, you
you?
can contact me at my Instagram. It is at Daddy Knickknack. Uh, yeah, at Daddy Knickknack Instagram at Instagram.
Okay. And
But let me
spell
give you
that
the
for the
exact site.
listeners.
Because I'm not really much of a social media guy, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
pull
yeah.
it up for you to get
Yeah,
exact. Because off the top of the head, I really don't know. They got platforms and stuff, and I don't know nothing about that stuff.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just doing everything word of mouth. And if I can get on, I know you. Like, hey, I'm gonna get on and try to promote the documentary. And people are
Absolutely.
like, platform. I don't know nothing about all that. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is gonna be one to remember. This documentary is gonna be one to remember. But let me tell you, my Instagram
You said
is
Daddy Knickknack?
uh yeah, Daddy Knickknack. DADDYNICKNACK. So that's DADDYNICKNACK. And it's in Instagram, and that'll
Mhm,
be me. And then our club site is we underscore rise RISE
mhm.
underscore club uh at Mount Sac. And that's how you find more and more updates about the Struggles Real documentary.
Right,
We actually film tomorrow. Our first filming starts tomorrow. Our projected release date of that is June 30th,
right on.
2026.
I
We're doing
can't
a
wait to
30
see
minute
that.
documentary, hoping to get a full documentary in soon with, you know what I mean?
I'm looking forward to seeing that, man. And hey, man, we
Yeah.
got a little time left. Is there anything that you want to touch on? Because I just kind of been driving the conversation, but there might be some things that you wanted to drop that we missed. So here's your time.
To anybody that's for the next man or person or woman getting out of anywhere and they want to make it out here or they're out here right now and they want to make it it is possible. Even if you're on the street strung out right now and you're listening some way somehow, it is possible. You could do it. Like, man, I could tell you I've been there, done that. And first steps is if addiction is your main problem, if you're under the influence at the time, hey, go into a program, get your head right, get your mind and body right. Once you do that, then from there, there's all kinds of resources, and your counselor there can guide you to a path to housing like I did. I'm one of the 4 people out of the region who got housing. But hey, I did that, and I worked hard for that.
Mhm.
Without no mental health or nothing like that. So if you think that you can't do it because whatever institutionalized or you just can't do it, guess wrong. Because I thought the same way, and all I had to do was get clean, really.
Yeah.
And even if you're getting out and you're fresh out and you barely started, hey, it's all right. You
Mhm.
slip, hey, just bounce back.
Yeah.
Even you got to go in program for a little 30-day drought.
Yeah.
Go do that 30-day drought rather than catch another case. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But
Yeah.
do what you got to do and get yourself in a right setting in a stable, good, stable environment. And from there, you can make your moves. Find out your options, what routes to go, and take it from there. Or you can watch The Struggle Is Real coming out June 30th, and you can see 12 different ways and routes that we did getting out on
Mm.
release. So, like I said, it, it- it's nothing's impossible if you put your mind to it.
Right on. And you said, man, you said, "I worked hard for it." And that's what
Very
people gotta
hard,
be not just hard, very hard. And that's what
very,
people
very.
gotta realize, that success
Yeah. Ain't
comes
nothing
through
gonna
hard
get.
work.
Yeah, ain't nothing gonna be given to you. Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing. Like nobody's gonna. No one gave me this like that. Nah, nothing handed to you. You gotta earn it. You gotta
Yeah,
push for it. You gotta fuck. You gotta. There's other people fighting and hungry for that for these housings. You gotta be hungry just like them or even more and want it.
yeah,
Just expect that.
yeah,
And if you can't say you can't do it, nah, you can.
yeah.
You know,
And then you said, "Yo, if you fall, get back up.
get back
Get
up.
back up. Don't lay down." We see the
Yeah,
great champions throughout life, be it any kind of sport or any kind of thing that people become successful at. Nobody was a champion or success overnight. And you kind of pointed to that, you know. They lost. And then even when they won and got the championship ring or whatever, I'm sure they lost again, but they got back up and got back in the ring, got back on the field, got back in the fight, got back in the game. And that's the same with this life. We got to.
yeah.
'Cause it's worth it.
It's like a famous line that we see in the movies. I always remember this one. Uh, you know, uh, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you could take a hit
Yeah.
and get back up.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get back up, it's over.
That's right,
But it
baby.
ain't about how hard you could get hit. It's about how hard you could take one and stay on your feet.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean?
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yo, man, and with that, bro, I think that's a great place to end this conversation.
I got one last question for you.
Shoot.
Okay. A wise one once shared this with me in there. How can him or her unlock their full potential? I shared this at the PTU. I don't know if you paid attention when I had the last question to talking with the band.
Yeah. I remember the incident, but I don't remember the question. I remember the whole event.
How
But
can
the
one unlock their full potential?
Yeah, one has to tap into themselves. I think that's a good place to start. But what's your answer? How can one unlock their full potential?
The answer that I was shared with blew my mind, but I say it because I think that's the best possible answer you can get. And correct me if I'm wrong. The only way one can unlock their full potential is by educating oneself.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you can find a better answer to that, just tell me. But I think that is the far best answer that you could possibly answer that one.
Bruh, I was quiet
So
because,
with
yeah,
that said,
there's no better answer.
there's no better answer.
No. And then, Nick, when we
Oh,
really think about the word education, it comes from this Latin word, educo or educere, which means to bring out that which is already within but latent. So we have to tap in. And sometimes we need people to help us tap in. These are our educators. And when they help us tap into those latent abilities, talents, and skills, that's when we become educated, and that's when we reach our fullest potential. And when you say that, it makes me think of like a circus bear or some animal in the zoo. You know, they perform well when they're in the circus or the zoo. But if you released it back to the wild, lots of them would die because they have not been able to tap into their internal mechanisms that they normally use for survival in their normal environments. So they have not been educated, they've only been well trained, you know. So that's
One last
amazing.
thing I just want to tell everybody, you know, like I was homeless. I was intense. I had nothing without a dollar in my pocket, nothing but hand-me-downs all the way through to this day from November 8th to today. You know, all I had to do was stay sober and listen. And whoever I wanted to guide me, that's who I went with. There's
Yeah.
plenty of mentors out there. There's plenty of guidance out there. You just got to look for it. Meet people, you know, network, and then, you know, sky's the limit. You know, and remember that the only way you can unlock your full potential is by educating yourself.
Yeah.
So with that food for thought, hey man, thank you for having me on the show. Remember the documentary, The Struggle is Real, is coming out soon. And just keep your eyes and ears open for that one, because I'm gonna tell you like this, it's gotta be a good one.
Right on. Right on. Y'all heard that right from the brother Nick out there in LA on the West Coast. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right, man.
We
And
could
if
do
you
this
got
one more
people,
time, because I feel like I got more comfortable with you talking like this. Because on the camera, I ain't Zooms and stuff, I'll be shy. But now
yeah,
I'm ready to get warmed up.
nice. Then
Oh
we're
yeah,
gonna do it again.
you feel me? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again, then.
All right. If
All
we
right,
have to.
all right,
All right, yeah.
brother.
All right.
You have a great
All
day
right.
then.
Likewise,
All right, man. Peace.
for sure. Bye-bye.
Later. Hey, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me for another episode of the Prison to Promise podcast. If you or someone you know would like to share their Prison to Promise story on this platform, please hit me up at drcraigwaleed@gmail.com. I'll spell it for you. That's DrCraigWaleed@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.